All right, Sidekicks fans, welcome into our third edition of Sidekicks Direct. We have a little bit of a different version of this today as we're sitting down with RJ Luevano. I am Scott Wagner, your host. Going to talk to RJ about something we're normally talking about guys that have re-signed with the team. We're actually going to be talking about a retirement today. So first off, RJ, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Been good.
How's the quarantine been going for you?
Ah, crazy, man. Just trying to make it obviously day by day with the kids, the wife, the business outside of the sidekicks, starting life outside of it. Just trying to make it, man. Trying to maintain.
Well, let's talk about that life post Sidekicks, but I want to talk Sidekicks obviously for a moment. So this past 2019-2020 season, you said was your last season. What went into the decision to retire from the Sidekicks after 5 seasons with the team?
Oh man, it's so many things, so many different variables. For me, I think some of them, and I won't be too long, but I think more than anything, just my family, man. The biggest part of making this decision is I've kind of year by year been teetering on giving it one more go or retiring. Is just this year my kids are getting older, spending more time with them. Being a bigger part of their lives. Obviously, during the season we travel so much and train so much. I've missed birthdays, holidays, and stuff like that. So for me, I think what pushed me over the edge was just spending more time with my family ultimately, and my body, and being old. Absolutely.
That was gonna be my next question, man. Did age or getting beat up? Because the indoor game is a very physical game. I mean, even more so than the outdoor game. What kind of toll is that taking on your body?
Oh man, I think everything, right? It's from my knees to my lower back to dislocating my shoulder. Kind of 3/4 into the season this year for the second time in the last 2 years. I mean, it's beating me up. I'm still recovering, which is crazy. 2 months, post the season, I'm still recovering just from some of the injuries from groins being strained and stuff like that. So it's definitely a toll. The indoor game will take a toll on your body, especially in your 30s.
No, trust me, I completely understand. We're going to talk a little bit more about the indoor game specifically momentarily. But I wanted to say you've become, over your years with the Sidekicks, pretty well known with the fan base and a fan favorite. And, obviously with your coaching background and your skills background, which we're going to talk about momentarily as well, you can't go to a game and you always hear chants of RJ from little kids all over the arena. What has the Sidekicks fan base meant to you?
It's everything, man. It's my family. It's the people. It's the neighborhood that I grew up in. It's the city, that I've grown up in and played my whole career here indoor. Just hearing the hometown fans, my family, friends, familiar faces in the crowd, and even unfamiliar faces. Just knowing that we represent the same city. That we're playing for, obviously the badge as well. It's everything, man. It's the extra motivation you need to play at this level.
So what does post-retirement, MASL career, RJ, what is he doing? What is he looking to do? Any new hobbies that you're going to pick up? Obviously, you've got the RJ7 skills, and we'll talk about that again. But is there anything that you're going to pick up to fill this time besides hanging out with the family?
I guess what every retired athlete does, play golf, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played a round of golf in my life, and talking to some of my friends now that have retired and other guys in the league that are there or getting there, it's everybody's picking up golf. And being the young hotshot that I was many years ago, I thought obviously I'd never play golf in a million years, but it's sounding more appealing now, day by day. But that I've actually picked up, enjoying some time with my oldest son, just playing frisbee golf, which is a little less hard than I guess than real golf. But like you said, you hit the nail on the head. Just spending more time with my family, trying to build, my business post sidekicks and whatnot, and just maybe vacation a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely down with. I'm down with the golf, the vacationing a little
Yeah.
bit more, the business. Those are all sound like pretty fun things. So I'm going to tell a quick little story for the Sidekicks viewers and listeners here. So the first time I met you was actually not with the Sidekicks. We
Right.
were playing indoor soccer at Inwood. It was during the off season before the Sidekicks had come back originally. What was that, 2 years ago?
Right.
And so is there any chance that we are going to see you in the Inwood over 30 men's circuit?
Man, if I had $1 for every time I've been asked that question since retiring, and absolutely, man. Who am I kidding to say that I don't still love the game, and it's not everything to me, because it is. It's put a roof over my head. It's provided for my family, for my kids, for my wife, and I can't get away from the game. Obviously, the body doesn't allow me to play at the level of the Sidekicks and obviously the MASL, but I'm still a kid, man. Deep down underneath all these years of playing and age and old body and hurting and everything, I'm still a kid. So it's gonna be hard. As my wife says, she needs me to go play soccer, or else I'm a grumpy old man around the house.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask a favor. So now that I've gotten to know you over the past couple of years, obviously through the Sidekicks, when we are playing against each other on Monday nights up at Inwood, can you take it a little bit easier on me?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So the first time we had played against each other, it was so frustrating. Like, I was a relatively decent soccer player myself. I played in college, and I went up against RJ. And again, I'm in my 30s as well. And he's just dancing around guys, balls constantly right at his foot, never a bad touch. Man, you're the most frustrating guy to play against.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I want to ask you, your final season, you and I had talked earlier in the year, and you had said that you thought this was going to be your last year. Looking back on it, is there a moment from your final season that you really remember that really stands out to you?
It's an easy one. It was scoring against Mesquite, man.
I figured that. I was kind of leading you that. I was going to lead you that way if you didn't get there, but that was what I was hoping you were going to say.
This isn't my first rodeo, man. I know where you were going with that. So, yeah, that's it, man. I didn't score many goals this season. And anytime you score a goal as a soccer player, as a field player, even as a goalie, those are times that you remember. And to score it against obviously our crosstown rivals, it was everything. My family being in the stands, and I think we went up by a goal, with a couple of minutes left. To ultimately win that game. So that was, for this season at least, that was definitely the highlight of this season for me.
Yeah, it was definitely a very pivotal moment. I was standing behind the goal actually, and I looked over to the gentleman that runs our social media, Fetty, and he was like, Fetty goes, that was his swan song, his final moment, and it was a darn good one to go out with. We'll wrap this up here pretty quickly. I know you're doing the RJ7 skills and stuff. Skills as your business. Tell us a little bit about RJ7 Skills.
Yeah, man, it's a business that I started about 9 years ago, probably around the first season that I started playing with the Sidekicks, when they first came back in like 2012, 2013. So I knew, being 27 years old at that time, that I wasn't going to be able to play forever, indoor soccer or outdoor for that matter. So it was just something that I loved doing, and didn't want to necessarily go into the coaching and work for a club and stuff like that. Being a technical player, I enjoyed the technical part of the game, obviously tremendously. And it was just an opportunity that I was, given and privileged to have, just to be able to start something and, be able to work on the technical part of the game with young players, with, high school players, with college players, some professional players as well. We've been lucky enough to work with. And, we've been blessed. My family's been very blessed for the last 9 years for our business to grow. And even through this whole crazy Corona, to still continue to persevere and continue to push forward, obviously with all of the guidelines and whatnot to continue to do that. But, definitely a blessing from God to allow my family to have this opportunity for me to continue to do, obviously, what I love to do past just playing the game, and be able to, give my knowledge and my, my level, my everything that I've ever learned in the game and poured into these young players.
So one last question for you. Now that you're retired, any involvement with the Sidekicks moving forward besides as a fan? Would you come back, help maybe coach a little bit here and there? You've obviously got the eye for the game. You know the game just as well as anybody. Any involvement with the franchise moving forward?
Oh man, it would be a privilege. Obviously we're in the off season. The whole Corona thing is kind of just put a damper on everything. But looking forward to speaking with Coach Simone, obviously Coach Jesse, Coach Fabi, and anything that I can do to help the team, to help the franchise move forward. Part of that being me retiring this year and allowing someone to step up into that role that, that I've been able and privileged to have. I would love to do. If they ask me to coach, they ask me to get water, they ask me to be, the ball boy, it would be a privilege to be able to continue to be a part, and affiliated with this team that I've supported my whole life.
Awesome. We are so excited. It was an honor to have you on here on our third ever Sidekicks Direct and to get to chat with you about your retirement and kind of what is coming next for you. I look forward to
Thank you.
seeing you on Monday nights, hopefully up at some of the amateur places all around where
Absolutely, man.
you'll now be paying to play soccer instead of getting paid to play soccer, right?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a turn, but well needed. Well needed.
Very cool. That is RJ Luevano, 5 seasons with the Sidekicks, announcing his retirement. Hopefully sticking around with the team. You can catch him if you've got little ones that are looking for skills training. RJ7 Skills. You can find him online anywhere. You've got videos up on
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 Instagram.
Facebook,
Yeah,
on Instagram. Yeah.
absolutely.
So you can't learn from anybody more technical. That's for sure, man.
Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We will be back with you next time for another episode of Sidekicks Direct. Take care.
Awesome. Cheers.